PSA to everyone out there. I'm speaking for myself, but I'm probably speaking for a large majority of other officers out there. If we're driving on the freeway in our police car, get the out of the way. Get the out of the way. If you merge and we follow behind you and we merge too, you're probably in trouble. The best way to find that out is get the out of the way. I can go 90 miles an hour. You can't. You can't do that. So get the out of the way. If us officers stay behind you long enough, we can find a reason to pull you over. So you might as well get the out of the way. Super simple. That's all. You're welcome.
I want to give that cop, to start off, a little bit of credit for going a solid 45 seconds without beating an innocent person. That's good. Other than that, no credit. I cannot tell you, Nina, how much I despise everything that we just saw, all of what was encapsulated in that cop. And I have a lot to say about it, but I want to give you first crack. What did you think about this cop's TikTok?
You know, it is really nice, although painful, when the truth just comes out like that, because it just really reminds us of the fact that we have problems in the legal system itself, from the streets to the courts. And the fact that she was so open and honest about what is happening. And she's right, she's not the only one. That is the only part about what she had to say, John, that excites me a little bit, because I'm glad that she did this very overtly.
100%. That is Breanna Straus, Federal Way officer. And so we're now finding out what happened to this cop. So shortly after putting up the TikTok, apparently it happened in July, there was a lot of pushback, as you can expect, and the TikTok was taken down. And then an investigation started, and we'll show you the consequences that came from that. But first of all, I just love that Breanna Straus, the officer you saw in that video, apparently describes herself on her LinkedIn resume as having excellent people skills, as well as being an excellent leader. So this is a reminder to not trust everything you read on LinkedIn. Anyway, Commander Kurt Schwan of the Federal Way Police Department told Seattle Weekly that in their investigation of Breanna Straus, they looked for possible violations of standards in the video, as well as if Straus had any previous disciplinary issues. None were apparently reported. I love how official they have to be about this. We're going to do an investigation of this TikTok. What are you talking about? Watch it right now. I've got it on my phone. This is unacceptable. And it was unacceptable, kind of. Just a little bit. Straus received a 10-hour suspension without pay. Violations of the social media conduct and personal conduct policies. A 10-hour suspension is equal to 1 shift. So for berating and condescending the people that she's supposed to protect and serve, for indicating that she can violate the law if she wants, and if she gets annoyed by you for blocking her way, she'll find a pretense to pull you over, effectively making the law whatever she wants to be. That's a 10-hour suspension, Nina. That's amazing.
The fact that what's most troubling is they found no violation of their standards. So guess what? They need some new damn standards, John. This speaks to the culture of that police department, and people should be very, very afraid. It makes me call into question previous arrest, because if she feels this way about zipping up and down the damn highway, then they feel this way about every other thing. And one final point to this, it reminds cries that Black people have, what we have talked about generation after generation when it comes to law enforcement, that they can and do in some cases plant things and make things up. But nobody wanted to believe the Black community on this. And thank God for smartphones now, but it's still a shame that we need a smartphone to validate what we know has been happening in too many law enforcement agencies for generations. And that is not to say that all police officers are like her or are corrupt. It is to say that we have systemic problems that need systemic fixes.
A sheriff in North Carolina who had been caught on tape saying in explicitly racist terms that he was going to wipe out all of the Black cops apparently in his authority has actually been pushed out of his position. That is the good little update that we can give you today. It doesn't often happen, but in this case it did. Superior Court Judge Douglas Sasser suspended this guy from his control over these 3 different counties. And in case you aren't familiar with what actually happened, we want to give you some of what was unveiled. And bear in mind, this is not just allegations. They have the tape. Take a listen.
First extension is Melvin Campbell of Los Angeles County. First one I found. Period.com. I'm sick of it now. Sick of these black bastards.
Well, they try.
Clean the house and be done with it, period, and we'll start from there. Just giving you heads up, that's coming. When me and Boyd and Nancy go to it tomorrow, the first we see, they ain't gonna make it, brother. I'm telling you. They might as well come somewhere else again.
Okay, so to be clear, because that is a little bit hard to make out, what he is saying is, and this is rough, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these black bastards. I'm going to clean house and be done with it, and we'll start from there. Tomorrow's gonna be a new effing day. I'm still the mother effing sheriff, and I'll go up and fire every goddamn, not even going to say part of that. You know what he's saying. F them black bastards. They think I'm scared. They're stupid. I don't know what else to do it. So it's just time to clean them out. There's a snitch in there somewhere telling what we are doing, and I'm not gonna have it. I'm not gonna have it. Well, what he doesn't have right now is his job anymore, and thank God. JR, this is what it takes for them to be pushed aside. It has to be that racist, and you have to have it on tape.
And also, yeah, exactly. If it didn't pop up on tape, there's no way they would have believed this. Because of course, every other name outside of, I guess, the correct ones for them to actually act like they care about. Because let's keep it real, they still don't care because they believe in these same types of things. You got this guy who's running the police, and he's talking about snitches. He's worried about snitches within the police department. What does that have to do with the black officers or the black personnel? Does he think that just black folks are born snitches? Or does he think that something about the makeup of their police department would push these particular black folks to then be the snitches on him? Does it still have anything to do with black folks? Or does it have to do with something else that he believes is happening? Some kind of coalition of people against him. Based off of what again? Dumbass sheriff? Their blackness? This is one of the things that I think people overlook. Whenever there's institutions that are controlled by racists, this guy headed the police department, keep Hannah fire folks, which he did. People that run companies, corporations, they can hire and fire people, which they do. Based off of their racism and in those opportunities for employment for these many of these folks that they control, then lose it, don't have opportunities at jobs, can't advance in this land of opportunity, then we complain about those black folks don't have jobs. This person can't get this going. Can't believe they're out of work. What's up with these welfare queens? They push all this stuff, but they're in control of whether or not some folks have jobs. Then they complain about it. If you control the system and you got people like this in positions where they can control it, and then complain about the makeup of the employees and who they've excluded and why they're out of work, looks like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I hate these black people, get them out of here. Why don't these black people have jobs? Let's keep it real.